Here's why I'm not married yet. I simply didn't feel it was ever the right time or opportunity to get married in my early to mid-20s. It's kind of nice to see that people aren't rushing into marriage like they used to.
29 if you're wondering. I thought we would just start off with that, considering that her advice is to wait until you're 30 to consider marriage.
As a career-oriented woman, I don't want to settle for someone who's insecure about what I do or wants to control me.
Now, this clip does require a little bit of nuance. For those of you who don't know, this is a famous African-American female streamer named Pokimane, and if that wasn't enough of a cue as to why a partner of hers might be controlling, then look no further than her Instagram page, where she is constantly posting parasocial girlfriend bait to get followers. So I can imagine why a significant other of hers would have a problem with that. But welcome to modern Twitch, where the worst people you know are finally getting old. Cutie Cinderella is clocking in at 31. Then we have Valkyrie at 34.
I feel mentally stunted. Like, I don't feel 34. I'm a middle-aged woman.
Hassan better wife her up. And finally, as I said, we have Iman, who is about to turn 30.
I've always been someone who wanted kids, wanted to start a family.
You better hurry. Guys get like an extra 10 years to act like they're still in high school despite being well into adulthood. But because of biological limitations, once women hit maybe 22, they gotta get moving before their time runs out.
On top of that, there's such a pressure on women. I feel like we're constantly told and conditioned to think that our greatest value is bringing life into this world, which I find painfully reductionist.
Clearly, she took her general education courses in college seriously, so now we have more of an insight on why she's in this predicament.
Perfection and power are overrated. I think you are very wise to choose happiness and love.
Uncle Iroh advice videos are looking pretty base these days when it comes to the behavior of Twitch streamers. So as for people like Iman who are following the golden path in their careers, or people who are wasting like a decade doing nothing in their parents' basement, let me just say that these traditional milestones have been created for a reason, and the reason older people are pressuring you and saying that time is running out is because they know that you only have a finite amount of time to achieve certain things before you're locked out of them, and they know that life constantly gets harder and harder as you get older. But when people ignore traditional wisdom and they start running up against the time limit for achieving major life milestones, they'll start coping like this.
I bought an engagement ring for myself. Okay, but you guys told me to. The person that you are engaged to the most in your entire lifetime is your damn self. So why shouldn't I get this ring for my damn self?
That was Pokimane showing off her African-American roots. I'm surprised Beyonce didn't start playing in the background. But also, what a callback to Emma Watson announcing that she was self-partnered when she was about to turn 30.
I never believed the whole I'm happy single spiel, but I'm very happy. I call it being self-partnered.
What an internet classic. I'm glad to see that Pokimane is paying tribute by doing her own iteration of it for modern audiences.
This is me proposing to myself. Look at the gorgeous diamonds. You know when jewelry is so pretty, you want to eat it? Is that just me? Like, it's so delectable.
Am I the only person who thinks this ring looks ugly? It looks like that snake that eats its own tail. I don't know if that's some sort of metaphor or if it's the kind of jewelry that an evil stepmother from a Disney movie would wear, but I guess it's good that she likes it.
Will I be with me for the rest of my life? Well, yes, I've no choice. I'm gonna have the opportunity to gift my husband the sickest engagement ring for men that there ever was, and I cannot wait. You guys know how much I love gift giving, and just that idea makes me so happy.
I can think of nothing more emasculating than a woman proposing to a man. I'll never understand these women's impulse for turning their boyfriends into men that they will hate.
About a year or two ago, like a year and a half, something like that, I realized I had been attracting a lot of beta males. You know, I was like, I'm trying to cop a dude. All I got are like these bitches, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what's my problem?
Maybe it's because you're looking for a guy who would let you propose to him. It's funny watching a person whose entire life history is filmed because you can see her preaching the modern values, followed by getting into various dramas because she's not actually attracted to the relationships that she claims are ideal.
I don't know if this is controversial, but I'm in New York right now, and I've noticed that the hottest men, the most attractive men, all happen to be gay.
More evidence that if you just follow the traditional rules, you wouldn't have these problems. However, I think these videos are a sign of a new phase of content creation for Iman, or a new creative outlet.
While I owe my career to streaming, it was also the source of a lot of difficult moments and harassment that I don't experience on other platforms. And I can confirm it's been really healing to explore other creative outlets.
Now, a reasonable person might say that being a pretend parasocial girlfriend to tons of lonely men as you pirate old episodes of Avatar for your stream is not very creative, but you know, this is Twitch we're talking about here. I mean, technically, Amaranth is the most well-put-together streamer when it comes to life milestones because she's married, so the standards aren't that high here. But it seems like Iman is graduating to a new era in her career. She started out with her League of Legends N-word phase. If she wanted to speak like that, she should have picked Heroes of New Earth. Then she had her phase where she went after people's sponsors.
And I will say, for this company to sponsor a video that's literally 20 minutes of talking shit about me, if I ever see you in my inbox, on site. On fucking site.
After that, she had her entitled rich girl phase. A lot of people were offended by this tweet, but personally, I'm glad that she was being her true self here.
Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Personally, I enjoy it when Catty Pokimane stupidly calls her followers broke beta males. However, now I think that we're entering my favorite era of Pokimane, which is her Eat, Pray, Love phase.
This year, I fully cut someone out of my life who used to be a close friend, but was lying to me, lying about me, in general causing me so much emotional turmoil that I needed a lot of therapy. But after I cut them off, I did not message them once.
You go, Pokey. Good for you for not messaging him. You earned that candle. Also, for the guys who haven't been forced to watch Eat, Pray, Love, it is quite possibly the most woman movie that's ever been created. Eat, Pray, Love is about a 40-year-old New York career girlie with no children who goes off to Italy and gets fat and then becomes wise by learning from India after she divorces her husband who is deeply in love with her because he's short, I'm guessing, or because she got married too young, which is what she said in the movie. Of course, they have to make sure they poison young women into thinking that being like 28 is too young to make a commitment. I mean, undateable men have their Manic Pixie Dream Girl movies, and undateable women have Eat, Pray, Love and Morning Glory Milking Farm for when the life advice from such movies turns them into a spinster.
I'm ridding myself of a lot of my people-pleasing tendencies, and I'm so proud of myself for that. I am wishing you a happy new year, and I'm rooting for us.
Well, I'm glad that you're figuring out shit that you should have learned when you're like 21.
Do you always talk in bumper sticker?
Pokimane has definitely seen this movie. She constantly speaks in platitudes that should be on Hallmark cards. By the way, just as a little side note, the woman who wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love was fucking batshit insane. On screen is a video about that. Let me just say that it makes sense that the advice given in that movie is horrendous feel-good bullshit that will actually harm your life if you follow it. Now, as for the late bloomer part and learning teenager lessons when you're almost middle-aged, I guess that's fine. Better to learn late than never, but the part that I have an issue with is the part where she has to publicly congratulate herself, because it comes off as incredibly narcissistic. And what I mean by that is that this Eat, Pray, Love video is like when you go to a job interview and they say, tell us about one of your flaws, and you're like supposed to lie by taking a positive thing about you and frame it as a negative.
So tell me about a weakness of yours. The common tactic with this question is to write a strength but word it as a weakness. Like, I'm such a perfectionist with my work that I'll give up all of my spare time to make sure my shit gets done at the cost of me own family. Fuck 'em.
So Iman saying that one of her flaws is that she's such a people pleaser is like her saying, I'm sorry, you see, I'm missing a bunch of important life milestones and behaving like I'm 16 because I am just too much of a people pleaser. I'm just too much of a good person. I give too much to everyone else at my own expense. Pokimane makes videos like this a lot. However, for everyone else who's a late bloomer and not a narcissist, there's a bit of ancient wisdom that's been circling around the internet that people are calling retard maxing. People have figured out that all of the overthinking and introspection is not actually helping them become happy. And that's because most people let their own heads get in the way, which prevents them from achieving their goals. And so the internet has realized that it's actually better to act as if you're stupid, like Forrest Gump.
He's not bound by adult worries. Someone offers an opportunity, he takes it. No self-doubt, no overthinking, no paralysis, just do it. And every single time, it works out. Why? Not because he's lucky, because he's not standing in his own way.
Also note that a lot of the success that Forrest Gump experiences in that movie is due to him listening to the advice of people who are smarter than him.
What's your your sole purpose in this army?
To do whatever you tell me, drill sergeant?
God damn it, Gump! You're a goddamn genius.
You can actually live a pretty good life if you just listen to the advice of old people who are competent or have the lifestyle that you want. Though, certainly, you don't want to end up attention-seeking and cringe like this when you get older.
I bought my first ever Birkin, and although I'd love to own one someday, I first wanted to buy one for a very special person in my life, my manager. I couldn't think of a more deserving person to have such a coveted bag, except maybe you, which is why I got a second one. I love gifting you guys because you've been just as kind and supportive of me as my friends and my team has been.
Right. Hopefully someday the poor multi-millionaire African-American streamer Pokimane will be able to afford her own $20,000 Hermes Birkin bag.
If you're a broke boy, just say so.
I swear nothing will turn you into a misogynist faster than learning Hermes's business plan and how effective it is on women. It's basically a luxury gacha game store where the loot boxes are $5,000, and when you pull ultra rare items, you still have to pay for them. But also imagine not being able to gift your manager something without publicizing it, and Pokimane publicizes how generous she is quite frequently. Honestly, these giveaways that she does look a lot like she's bribing people to watch her or be her friend. I don't get how she's like, maybe one day I can afford a Birkin for myself, when she also releases videos openly bragging about her gifting her friends purses that are into the thousands of dollars each. But probably the worst part of her showing her audience how great it is to let life milestones pass by for the sake of your career is that she does this whole girlfriend simulator bit to make money despite not having to because she's insanely rich. And the issue with that is that she can't really date anyone because she'll lose a ton of her following, which is why she has to make videos like this.
I have to introduce you to a recurring character in my life. This is Chris, also known as Sunkiss, also known as my neighbor.
Iman, nobody believes that this guy is in the video because he's your neighbor, unless he's gay or you have really terrible boundaries.
We met at one of those everybody in the building gets together kind of parties. And then there were board games for people in the building, so we got to know each other at board game nights. Chris cooks a lot, gyms a lot, and he sings. Chris, sing. Right. That's not all there is to say.
Damn, I'm pretty boring.
Okay, me too.
Right, your neighbor that you met at board game nights who is close in age and comes over to cook for you because we all know she can't. Your neighbor who goes to the gym with you to lift while you go off and do a bunch of exercises that are largely useless. She does shit like this a lot, so I imagine that she knows as much about working out as she does cooking. Anyway, nobody believed her story, and the simps became depressed because now it's finally over.
Dude, Pokey, like, I can sing better. I can cook better. I can do better. I can be better. I'm everything this guy can be. Just message me back, please.
That's right, Miskiff. It could have been you. Now, I'm not exactly sure why Iman has picked this method of revealing her boyfriend. She's rich enough to never have to work again, so if family was actually a priority, she would just take a break from the internet. So I don't know why she's doing all of this. However, I do know that e-girls always have stalkers who are trying to expose every bit of their personal life. Maybe one of them found out and was trying to expose it, so she's like, okay, well, I'll just say he's a really good friend. That's why we shot this gym video together. But even though this looks suspicious as hell, she's still insistent on gaslighting people.
I posted a gym video with my neighbor.
I saw that. Was it actually your neighbor?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
We met at you know those building get-togethers where they're like, everybody in this building, come hang out, kind of parties. And then we got to know each other at board game nights for like people in the building, essentially, or like friends on the same floor, sort of thing. And then people on Twitter were like, imagine having to hide your partner because your community's gonna freak out. And then my whole community is like, oh my God, cute video. You know, I'm like, it just feels like two entirely different worlds.
Again, I'm not sure why she would show this guy in a room alone with her if they were not dating and if he's not gay. I guess the tier 3 subs who think she will date them if they give her enough money are really socially unaware, but then again, Miskiff and Emiru dated for multiple years and people didn't know, even though it's obvious they were dating if you watch content with them together. But to further make my point that Iman is lying to everyone, it's not just the Instagram boyfriend-girlfriend videos that she has this guy participate in. It's also this.
Oh, and he sings a lot of songs in China / in Chinese.
Yup.
Wait, I've never heard you sing in Chinese.
Really?
Yeah.
我们今生注定是沧桑.
Now that we've established that he can sing in Chinese, allow me to show you this clip of her on a stream.
Wait, so what did you think of China? Because you also went. You went twice, right?
Freaking love it.
Yeah, but you got food poisoning the first time.
I'm in a very Chinese phase of my life right now. Like, I really, really love it.
What an incredibly weird phase to suddenly go through the minute you meet a Chinese guy. I mean, she certainly is spreading those communist beliefs.
Do you think someday we'll have a revolution like that in America? Right? It's getting there, right?
We already have one.
Another one.
What's going on?
The wealth disparity is getting bad.
The wage gap, I hate that shit.
No, wealth disparity.
Wealth disparity.
Wage gap is like between men and women. Men and women, we love each other.
Facts.
And we hate the rich. Anyways. Too much.
Aren't you the rich?
No! Like the ultra rich, the ultra giga rich, the unnecessarily
You have to clarify.
rich.
They're gonna clip that and it's gonna make you look bad.
Oh.
You
the
gotta
ultra
say
giga
you gotta
rich.
say the billionaires.
The billionaires.
Because you are rich.
The Bezos.
I don't know what it is with these people who are walking around with like a minimum of 8 figures in their pocket who feel the need to pretend that they're poor. More recently, Ludwig's girlfriend, Cutie Cinderella, and the biggest YouTuber, Mr. Beast, who I'm now fully convinced is AI, were Larping is broke.
You said you keep less than $1 million for yourself despite being a paper billionaire. Why do you choose to operate that way?
It's funny talking about my personal finances because no one ever believes anything I say. So, I mean, they're like, you're a billionaire. I'm like, that's net worth. I have negative money right now. I'm borrowing money. That's how little money I have. Technically everyone watching this video has more money than me, in their bank account.
I mean, you are a millionaire.
I love that you think that.
You're not a millionaire.
No.
Savings, brokerage, all investments, all assets, you're not a millionaire.
No. I spend too much.
Oh, shut up. Even if you're not lying about your income, your long-term boyfriend Ludwig is insanely rich. He's so rich that he can lose millions of dollars on a failed business and brag about it.
Oh, did your company get shut down and you lost like how much?
I lost more millions than you'll ever make.
Holy shit. Broke boy Hassan, another prominent Eat the Rich fanatic, was just caught in Cuba wearing like $5,000 of clothes. And if that doesn't convince you that these people are all insanely rich, then look no further than their retarded luxury beliefs.
I traveled a lot to Paris, and I noticed it's because I just get along so well with the people there. In Paris, there are a lot of Middle Eastern, North African, and Arab people. My people.
Yeah, I just love all the Nigerian migrant scammers that have swarmed Paris with illegal markets. Gee, it must be awesome as a rich person who can afford to live outside of poor, crime-ridden communities to talk about how great mass third world immigration is. I mean, Morocco is so great that Pokimane's parents fled to Canada when she was young so she wouldn't have to grow up there. As for the boyfriend stuff, I don't know. I just feel like if I'm doing couple shopping videos and my girlfriend is too embarrassed to say that she's in a relationship with me despite showing me publicly numerous times, then I would be pretty pissed about that. So, hey, Iman, if this TikTok you made is talking about a real relationship where some guy didn't propose to you after 2 years, then the way you treat men might be the reason why a guy that you want won't marry you. And also, vague posting about your past relationships like this to publicly shame your ex is really just a trashy move. Even if nobody in public knows who you're talking about, everyone who knows you personally will. So I think her not being married, despite her saying that she wants to be, might have a lot more to do with that than it just never being the right time because of her career. Again, welcome to 30.
I feel like 10, 15 years ago, if you were a girl gaming online, people were actually so nice to you. Like, so nice. They treated you so well. They would, like, gift you free stuff. All this stuff. Do you guys remember? Sometimes I think about these days and I'm like, I'm not hallucinating that, right?
Yeah, that happens when you base your career on your looks and you start getting older. People pay less attention to you and give you less money to be their parasocial girlfriend. Though, I will say, just to be fair, just as much as there is girl cope for missing milestones or for acting like a loser, there's also guy cope for it.
I've seen a few videos talking about the chosen ones are unemployed right now because our level of consciousness simply won't allow us to choose a job that is not something that we actually prefer. We're only going to choose something that we actually prefer to do. And I would agree with this because I haven't had a job in about 3 years.
Right, this is exactly what someone who is unhireable would say. Good, the comments are roasting him. My faith in humanity has been slightly restored. Unemployed people who are chosen for success don't make retarded Instagram videos. They work on themselves for 8 to 12 hours a day for free until someone is willing to pay them for what they do. But if you are behind, or you're in like your late 20s and not much has happened, understand that most people kind of slack off after they get what they want. So if you feel behind, note that you can catch up, and the way that you do that is by simply Googling and researching faster ways to do what you want to do, so you can make up for the time that you wasted by being able to do things like 5 times faster than most people. Then you can take what you've already learned from old skills and apply it to new ones.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.
Like I said with the Forrest Gump stuff, there's a real value in being teachable, or in sports, they say people are coachable or not coachable. The best players are the ones who listen to the people who are better than them. You'll be way further ahead if you just stick to what traditionally works, and if you listen to people who have more life experience than you, instead of trying to find a 100% unique and creative answer to everything. There's a time and a place to be creative, and it's not all of the time. Typically, it's best to learn all the rules first before you try to create new ones. Anyway, thanks for watching, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.